Hi, I'm Marci Chavalas, and it's story time. Today's story is from the Ordinary People Who Changed the World series, and this is I Am Jackie Robinson, written by Brad Meltzer, illustrated by Christopher Eliopoulos. And I am excited to share this story with you. I love this series. I love the cool illustrations, and I am always excited about learning about someone else. So, I hope you enjoyed this read aloud. Let's flip over to the back to see if we can find any clues about what we're going to be reading about. It says, I am Jackie Robinson. I will always lead the way. So, who do we think we're going to learn about today? That's right, Jackie Robinson. All right, let's grow. For all you AR readers, this is level 3.4, worth a half a point, quiz number 171148. Oh, look, I see inside of this, it gives us a clue about what we're going to read too. Sometimes it's on the back and sometimes it's on this like little cover here. So let's go see what it says. Jackie Robinson always loved sports, especially baseball. He could run, leap, and throw better than any other kid around. But he lived at a time when the rules weren't fair to African Americans. Even though Jackie was a great athlete, he wasn't allowed on the best teams just because of the color of his skin. Jackie knew that sports were best when everyone, of every color, played together. He became the first black baseball player on a major league team, and his bravery helped lead the way to equality in all sports in America. What makes a hero? This lively, collectible biography series answers the question one great role model at a time. We can all be heroes. So, this story is going to inspire us to do the best that we can as we grow and develop. So, let's read, let's grow. I am Jackie Robinson. I am Jackie Robinson. Sometimes it's hard to be brave. My mother was brave. She liked brave people. When I was born, the youngest of 5 kids, she even named me after someone brave. Ooh, I'm interested to see who he's named at. Can you see all the brothers and sisters? Where's Jackie? There he is a little baby. Let's go see why he was named. Let's go look at these bubbles. His middle name will be Roosevelt. Jack Roosevelt Robinson. Why Roosevelt? After President Teddy Roosevelt. He fought to make sure black people were treated the same as everyone else. That's a lot for little Jackie to live up to. You'll see. I'm not worried. All right, so let's see. Who was he named after? Yes, Teddy Roosevelt, one of our presidents in the United States. His name, Jackie Robinson's full name is Jack Roosevelt Robinson. But having a brave name doesn't make you a brave person. In fact, as a kid, I didn't like sleeping alone. I used to sleep in my mom's bed. Even when she tried to bribe me, I wouldn't leave. I'll give you a quarter to go sleep in your room. Not a chance. It's better here. All right. Do you sleep in your parents' bed too? Is it a little scary to sleep alone? Well, if that's true, you're just like Jackie Robinson. One of my scariest moments came when I was 8 years old. I was outside and a girl from across the street called me a terrible name. All right, should we be calling people terrible names? No, we need to be kind no matter what we do. If we can't say something nice, we shouldn't say it at all, should we? I was so mad. I yelled a name back, right back at her. Was that a good choice? Well, sometimes we do get mad, but we can't do the same thing. That's not a wise choice. Let's see what happens. Her father came running immediately. He didn't like that a black boy was standing up to his white daughter. We were the only black family on our block. What'd you call her? But she started it. I don't remember who threw the first rock. Wait a minute. We're throwing rocks? This went from name calling to rock throwing? This is not good at all. But the fight was on. Me versus her dad. Get him, Dad. Whoa, should an adult be throwing rocks at a child? Absolutely not. That is Unacceptable. I had a good arm, but no one wins in a rock fight. Eventually, the girl's mother came out and broke it up. Like I said, the world can be a scary place, but even as a kid, there was one thing that always made me happy. I want to hear what made him happy. This makes me upset to hear that she's calling names and started the problem, and then you've got a grown up throwing rocks at a child. Just not okay. Sports. Winning at sports. Okay, that's two things. I love playing everything: baseball, football, basketball, soccer, marbles, even dodgeball. All the kids would get in a circle: white, black, Hispanic, Asian. We all played together. The rules were simple: if the ball hit you, you were out. I duck, jump, leap, and of course throw and throw and throw. By the time I was done, I'd be the last one standing. Are they mad that I won? Dunno. Fall down. Maybe they won't notice. But the truth was, they weren't mad at me for winning. They appreciated the skill it took. Those childhood games were some of the only times I wasn't judged by the color of my skin. Hooray, Jackie! How does he do it? And what's the B on his hat stand for? You'll see. How many of you really like to play different sports? Who likes baseball? Football, basketball, soccer, marble, dodgeball. Let's see, which ones do I like to play? I play baseball. I like football. I'll watch basketball, maybe not play so much. I like to watch soccer too. And dodgeball was tons of fun for me. Maybe you've got some of these sports in common with Jackie. Still, that didn't make all my problems go away. At the local public pool in Brookside Park, you could only go swimming if you were white. If your skin was black, they locked you out. It says whites only, for use by whites only. Don't they know how hot it is out here? Trust me, they know. What do you think about that? That some people get to be there based on what they look like and some people don't? What if they had a rule saying only boys allowed and girls can't go in there? Or only those kids that are tall could go, but not kids who are shorter. Now, this is really unfair and unkind. And at that time, there were rules and laws that made things very unfair and unkind. I'm so glad that those have changed. When people complained, they gave us one day each week, Wednesday. Every Wednesday from 2 to 5 p.m., they open the pool to anybody black, Mexican, or Asian. Don't they know how mean that is? Trust me, they know. Oh, come on. He even swims in his hat? Maybe B is for buoyant. Buoyant means you're able to float. So, was that fair that they opened the pool only like one day and everyone else got to go whenever they wanted? Nope, not fair. And I'm glad people spoke up about that. When you see things that are not fair, speaking up about it, complaining about it is very important because people need to know that these things are unfair and they need some pressure to change them, just like they did here. They changed it a little bit, but they have still more work to go. So, how do you win when you feel like you're fighting the entire world? My mother, who worked as a maid, showed me the answer. Back then, we were so poor, we sometimes ate only 2 meals a day. Oh man, 2 meals a day? I like eat 3 meals a day and snack whenever I want to and have dessert and stuff. Wonder what that would be like to only eat 2 meals, like maybe breakfast and dinner, and that's it. That's that would make my tummy hurt, and that would make me feel kind of scared. To help us out, every Saturday night, the local bakery would let us take their leftovers. That was a really kind thing to do. And the milkman, back when the milk was delivered to your house, would give us whatever extra he had. Oh, those are people who are using their businesses to help people in need, and that is a great thing. And it looks like that helped Jackie and his family. It's a feast. Look at all this food. It's not just for us. What do you mean? We weren't the only ones struggling for money. My mom took the extra food and shared it with all our neighbors. That's right. She even shared it with the angry guy who threw rocks at me. Would you like some extra bread? Wow, thanks. That's very kind of you. I'm Mally, Jackie's mom. Nice to meet you, Mally. Wow, what a generous spirit. She didn't have enough, and many times her kids were going hungry, but she's still sharing. Wow, very impressive. That's how we got to be friends with everyone in the neighborhood. It was one of my mom's best lessons. When you do something good, it brings out the good in others. Plus, the more our neighbors got to know us, the more they realized just how much black and white people were alike. At that time, people had wrong ideas about what people looked like. So they thought, oh, because you look different, you must think differently. Some people must be smarter than other people just because you might look different. And that is not true. And so they're learning, hey, as we get to know people that look different, we recognize that, hey, it's just kind of like flowers, where flowers look different, but they smell great and they're still beautiful. And there's lots of different leaf petal shapes and colors, and it just makes the world more beautiful. So it doesn't mean that there's anything like wrong or great about certain flowers than other flowers, just like people. There are just lots of different colors and hair and eyes and ears and heights, all sorts of things that make us special and beautiful that we can celebrate. So it's great that they're building friendships so they can learn those things. I learned a similar lesson from a local mechanic named Carl Anderson. He saw the group of boys I used to hang out with. We called ourselves the Pepper Street Gang. We were a bunch of poor kids. For fun, we'd throw dirt clods at cars and swipe golf balls from the local course. Are those wise choices? No. We should not do things that cause problems for other people. When he saw what we were doing, Mr. Anderson took me aside. He didn't lose his temper. Calm as could be, he told me, Jackie, I know why you're following the crowd. You're afraid they'll think you're different or chicken, but it doesn't take guts to follow the crowd. Courage comes from being willing to be different. What Mr. Anderson said that day, it got me. With the help of my pastor, I stopped hanging out with the gang. From there, I threw myself even deeper into my favorite activity. Wow, I'm glad that Mr. Anderson stood up and tried to help mentor Jackie to help him become the boy he was meant to be. You can't be the kid that you're meant to be if you're doing wrong things. Let's see, it says, my favorite activity. What's his favorite activity? Sports and winning at sports, especially baseball. As a teenager, I could run so fast, a local reporter noticed that in nearly every game, I stole second, third, and home at least once. That isn't stealing, it's grand larceny. Man, this guy can write. You were just on first base. How'd you get so fast? Maybe B is for blast off. In college, I became the first UCLA student ever to letter in 4 sports in the same season: baseball, and football, and basketball, and track. They said I was one of the best football players in the country. 2 seasons in a row, I scored the most points of any player in the basketball league. I won the NCAA title that year. Only one American jumped farther than me in track. Wow, 4 different sports. He's one of the best. That's crazy. He's got a lot of really cool talents. But the same problems kept coming back. When the college newspaper wrote a nice article about me, one of my own white teammates purposely smashed into my leg trying to injure me. He was mad that the article said something nice about a black person. Ah, my leg! They don't know we're on the same team. Trust me, they know. Wow, is that a fair thing to do? No, absolutely not. People are feeling jealous and mean and unkind because he's different and making really wrong choices. By the time I got out of the army, it still didn't matter that I was one of the best athletes in the country. If you wanted to play professional sports, you had to be white. Sorry, son, your kind doesn't belong here. Oh, I wonder how Jackie felt about hearing things like that. It would make me feel really discouraged, really sad. I would probably be pretty mad too, because that's so unfair. How would you feel if someone told you you couldn't do what you really love to do just because you look different than the person who's talking to you. Maybe you have blonde hair and they have black hair. Or maybe you have green eyes and they have brown eyes. And they said you can't do what you want to do because your eyes are different. Yeah, that's crazy. That is not okay. Back then, if you were the world champs, it meant you were the white champs. In all of Major League Baseball, not a single team had even one black player. Now, some of you might be asking, what does that mean, white and black? This skin kind of looks peachish pink, and his is kind of like brown. So why are they calling him black and them white? Well, people use these terms to describe where your family was from a long time ago. So these players' families, maybe their grandparents or parents or great, 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 great grandparents were from Europe, countries like France and England and Ireland and places in Europe. And people with darker skin had come from different places. Like for Jackie, he had parents or great great grandparents or great 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 grandparents that came from the continent of Africa. So countries like Nigeria and Somalia, Senegal, South Africa. So different countries, different continents. So that's why they're calling them black and white, because their ancestors are from either Europe or Africa. And then other people with darker skin might be from places like South America or Central America or other places around the world. We had not a single team had even one black player. Oh, and did I mention that if you were on a black team, the pay was worse, the food was worse, and sometimes the only place to sleep was on the bus? That doesn't sound fair at all. Would you want to sleep on the bus? No. Gross. Is this food or goo? You don't want to know. But that was all about to change. Well, I'm glad these things needed to change. Thanks to a man named Branch Rickey. Rickey was the president of the Brooklyn Dodgers, one of the most popular baseball teams ever. I have an idea. The Dodgers will secretly look at black players. You nuts. People will stop rooting for us. I don't care. It's time to do what's right. With so many players fighting in World War II, Rickey had a plan for filling his team. After searching all across the United States and the world, Branch Rickey found me. I'm Jackie Robinson. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too. I think you can play in the major leagues. How do you feel about that? Mr. Rickey told me that he knew I was a good ball player, but he wanted to know whether I had the guts. He warned me that many white people will be mad to see a black player. There's no one on our side. No owners, no umpires. Loads of players and spectators will yell at you. Pitchers will throw baseballs at your head. But no matter what they do, if you get angry, it'll look like you can't handle it. Can you handle it? Wow, man, that's a lot of pressure. People, like if you were told that, hey, you can come and do the thing you love to do, you can play baseball, but people are going to try to hurt you and there's nobody wants you there. And if you if you get upset because they're doing things that you should be getting upset about, then they're going to think badly about you and kick you out. That does not sound like a winning strategy. That seems like something that would be really hard that you can't win. I don't know. What would you do if you got that offer? That doesn't sound like it's going to be pretty awesome. Let's see what Jackie does. On April 18th, 1946, at 27 years old, I was given my shot. At Roosevelt Stadium in Jersey City, New Jersey, I played my first official game for the Montreal Royals, the Brooklyn Dodgers farm team. You better believe I was terrified. I didn't want to let people down. Ooh, down here. Ooh, I'm going to go over here. This looks like there's some more information here. So let me go back. When I started reading here, hey, I feel like I missed something. If you're reading and you felt like you missed something or something's happening that you feel like, ooh, I might have skipped something, go back and reread and see maybe you read the wrong part like I did. So let's go back and read. So we know he's about to play his official game. Let's see if we go over here. Thousands of black spectators had come to see what I could do. Thousands of white people were there too, convinced that a black player couldn't possibly be as good as a white one. It was up to me to prove them wrong. Wow, that's a lot of pressure. You better believe I was terrified. I didn't want to let people down. Then at 3:04 p.m. in my first at bat, I was thrown out at first. You're out! Next time I came up was in the third inning. There were two men on base. The pitcher decided on a fastball. I can still see it coming, chest high, down the middle. This time, crack! When the ball finally landed 340 feet away in the left field stands, no one could say that a black man can't play as well as a white man. Some called it a home run. Others called it history. Way to go, Jackie. That afternoon, in 5 at-bats, I hit and got on base 4 times. I stole second twice, and I scored 4 runs. Hooray, Jackie! How's he do it? When he puts that bee hat back on, it's gonna be for a boom! When the game was done, I couldn't get to the locker room because I was so mobbed by fans. Black, white, young, old, even the folks rooting for the other team. They were cheering for me. Still, that didn't mean it was easy. When I started playing for the Brooklyn Dodgers, lots of players didn't want me there. Pitchers threw fastballs at my head. Runners stepped on me with their cleats. Wow. Catchers even spit on my shoes. Psst. I know you saw that. Splat. And they weren't just coming after me. They told me that if I kept playing, they'd hurt my son. Was I mad? Yes. Was I scared? Yes. Oh man, what do we think about this? This is very difficult. Is this good behavior in the game? Is this what they should be doing? Purposely throwing balls at your head to hurt you? Stepping on you with their cleats to hurt you? Spitting on you? Trying to hurt your family just because you're playing a game? That's that is completely wrong and evil. That was really hard. I know that must be really hard for him to have dealt with all that. But I never let it stop me. Crack! I told you the B is for boom. The B is for Brooklyn, genius. Game after game, I kept playing, knowing I wasn't just playing for myself. Each time, more and more people, black and white, were cheering. In the stands, fans wore "I'm for Jackie" buttons. And slowly, eventually, we were all playing together. Black, white, Asian, Hispanic. Baseball opened up to everyone. It was just like those childhood games of dodgeball. Through the simple game of baseball, the country saw a new possibility, a new option. All they needed was for someone to go first. You see his stats? Stole home 19 times. Was National League MVP in 1949 when he led in hitting and steals. The Dodgers won 6 pennants in his 10 seasons. He was one of the few people inducted into the Hall of Fame in the very first year he was eligible. Wow. It looks like a lot of people participated in making things different. So we had Branch Rickey over here. We had Jackie. We had the people who wore the "I'm for Jackie" buttons. We had people that showed up and cheered him on. There are many different ways to help make things change when they're unfair. In life, people tried to scare me. They wanted to stop me. They wanted to make me go away. Why? Because I was different. Each time I wanted to fight back. But for real change to come, you need to lead by example. Being a leader takes bravery. But remember this, no one is born brave. No matter how big or small you are, there will always be things that scare you. It's okay to be afraid. Just don't let it stop you. Remember that park where they wouldn't let him swim? It's now called Robinson Park. Today, no one in baseball can wear the number 42. But once a year, every player on every team wears it. It's the one day when everyone looks the same. There is real power in each and every one of us. Use that power to do what's right. Use that power for a cause that you believe in. And most of all, use that power to lead and help others. Instead of Brooklyn, you could have told people the B was for brave. just like my middle name. I am Jackie Robinson. I will always lead the way, and I hope you will too. When others see your example, they'll stand with you. It's the only way the world ever gets changed together. Wow, that is just so inspiring. I love hearing that he led the way with his example. He did not fight, but he stood for what was right and he worked hard. He did his best and encouraged others. So here's some real pictures of the people in the story. Let's go look. Jackie Robinson said, "A life is not important except in the impact it has on other lives." There he is. Here's Branch Rickey. Oh, look, here's Jackie when he's 6 years old. He's the second from the left. Look at he's so little. With his mother and his siblings, his brothers and sister. Jackie playing college football. Jackie at a college track and field event. I like looking at these pictures. And down here is a timeline. So it shows you kind of what happens in his life over his lifetime. Well, I hope you really enjoyed reading this story. Don't forget to click the like button right now so other people can hear about this story and can learn just like you did. And if you want to hear more stories, don't forget to click the subscribe button, that bell right now. All right, until next time, goodbye.